Welcome back to Philosophy Online. You are watching Introduction to Philosophy full course, and this is chapter number 1, What is Philosophy? In today's video we are going to do scope of philosophy. Scope of philosophy means what does philosophy do? What are the concepts and categories to which philosophy is concerned? Philosophy deals with three big categories of concepts which are universe, man, and ultimate being. So for philosophy deals with these three big categories, we divide philosophy into further three branches, which are metaphysics, epistemology, and axiology. Axiology is further divided into three sub-branches: ethics, aesthetics, and logic. What is metaphysics? Metaphysics is a branch of philosophy that deals with ultimate reality. It is all about first principle and most general aspects of things. We can say that it studies the incorporeal parts and essences of visible, corporeal, and sensuous world. That is to say, it is all about the reality and essences beyond the sensuous world and corporeal world. So let's see some metaphysical problem that may help us to understand that what are the topics and problems that we discuss in metaphysics. Number 1, it is the problem of existence. Then problem of identity, problem of space and time, problem of free will and determination, cause and effect, actuality, possibility, necessity, problem of change, etc. These all problems are metaphysical problems that we do discuss in the subject of metaphysics. Etymological meaning of metaphysics is the things beyond physics, which is derived from Greek words meta, physika. The term metaphysics has been referred to the sequence of Aristotle's works earlier titled as First Philosophy, the knowledge of ultimate being by his students. Ludwig Wittgenstein claims that metaphysics studies following questions: what is world? What kinds of things reside in the world? How can we explain world? What is man's status in the world? According to him, these all questions are related to metaphysics. So let's see some more general questions that we put forward regarding to metaphysics. Number 1, it is what are all things? This is a very basic and fundamental question of metaphysics, and it is also the same question from which philosophy began. This is the same question that Thales put forward for the first time in man's history to explore the universe. Next is what is common substance of formation of universe? What is reality? Does some ultimate being exist? Do we exist? Does soul exist? Who are we? Does time exist? What is our place in the universe? What is meaning of life? What does mean by consciousness? Do we have free will? What is mind-body relationship? So these all are metaphysical questions that explore universe and all the problems relating to metaphysical concepts or metaphysical aspects of things, of universe, of man. So we can notice here that the subject matter of metaphysics is wide. We can further divide metaphysics into sub-branches, which are ontology and cosmology. Ontology is sub-branch of metaphysics that is particularly deals with problem of existence. It studies the being, the nature of being, categories of being, and the basis of being. It investigates the different types of entities exist in the world and their relationship among them. Metaphysics studies the difference between appearance and reality. For example, we may say, what does it mean to exist? How does the existence of a chair differ from the existence of a table? Is there any difference at all? So these all are ontological questions. The second sub-branch of metaphysics is cosmology. Cosmology derived from two words. Cosmos means word and logos means study. So the literal meaning of cosmology is the study of world or universe. Cosmology is the branch of metaphysics that studies the nature of universe, its characteristics, dynamics, and laws that govern it. And you must remember here that cosmology or the cosmological questions, these were the initial form of philosophy. Hegel put forward the question that what are all things? So that was a cosmological question. That was a metaphysical question, and in metaphysics it refers to cosmology. So cosmology is all about the explanation of universe. It further explores that the history of universe that led to the stars, galaxies, and other features that we may know today. So let's see some basic questions of cosmology, which are as follows. What is basic substance of universe? Is there any one common element out of which universe is formed? Is the universe made of unlimited particles of indefinite matter? How many worlds do exist? Do the different worlds exist simultaneously or in successive order? What is governing force of universe? Is the universe governed by mechanical force? Is the universe governed by intelligible force? These all questions are related to cosmology, which is a sub-branch of metaphysics and a very initial form of philosophy. The second big category of philosophy and big branch or a kind of philosophy is epistemology. Epistemology is a branch of philosophy that studies the knowledge itself. It deals with the nature, origin, and scope of knowledge, sources of knowledge, validity of knowledge, and methodology of knowledge. This study of knowledge works on the epistemic justification of a belief and the rationality of knowledge. It makes the distinction between justified true belief and mere opinion to get to know the true value of knowledge. So it is all about knowledge and exploring knowledge. It explores the three important epistemic constituents of belief, truth, and justification. Epistemology studies the relationship between mind and reality. So it's also having a wide scope. So let's see some important questions or basic questions of epistemology. For the first, of course, what is knowledge? Then, how can we know something? What is the basic source of knowledge? What is the difference between sense experience, reason, and intuition? This question is all about the sources of knowledge. What is truth? How can we get knowledge of ultimate truth? What is justified true belief? How can we acquire knowledge? What is mere opinion and not knowledge? What is the status of knowledge? How can we say knowledge is objective truth? Does knowledge subjective? What are the necessary and sufficient conditions to get to know the truth? What is cognition? What is understanding? What are the constituents of knowledge? These all questions are epistemological questions that ponder upon knowledge and explore knowledge and explain what is truth and what is not truth. Now come to the last branch of philosophy, which is axiology. Again, axiology comes from two words, axia and logia. Axia means value and logia means study of. So its etymological meaning is study of values. So we can say that it is a branch of philosophy that deals with norms, values, and measures of different categories of things. It discusses the nature and justifications, classifications of values, norms, and measurements about different categories of things. It is known as normative science. It further divides into three types, which are ethics, statics, and logic. So let's explore these sub-branches and see what kind of values are being discussed in these three subjects. Ethics. Ethics is generally known as morality, theories of morality. It is also known as moral philosophy. Of course, it is a branch of philosophy that deals with human conduct. It is a normative science comprised of moral theories. It governs the subject matter of good and bad human conduct. Here please note that when we use the term human conduct, it is not similar to behavior. It is different from human behavior. Human conduct means human actions that are going to be performed or that are being performed. But behavior is something subjective, something in the mind of people. For example, some people are pessimistic and some are optimistic. So these are their behavior, their particular behavior. And how a man would behave in a particular situation, that depends on different behaviors. So that is not human conduct. Human conduct are the actions that are done by human beings. And morality tells us all about those actions, those conducts, that either that those actions are good or bad. So ethics makes distinction between good and bad human actions and enforces the values and norms about what is good and what is bad. It recommends the system of values and norms to eliminate the moral ills from human life and society. Ethics also includes the debate of reward and punishment. It deals with oughts and prescribes what human ought to do and ought not to do. It is not about is. It doesn't tell us about world, that how is the world going on. It tells us about that what a man should do and what a man ought not to do. It is all about prescription of human actions. So we may summarize that this study is about well-formed values, norms, and measurements which prescribe human what ought to do and what not ought to do. Let's check some basic important questions of ethics, which are as follows. What is virtue? What is good? What is bad? How can we attain good? What makes an action good? What makes an action bad? What is moral principle? Are the moral principles objective? Are the moral principles subjective? Does morality relative? Is morality absolute? How can we call something as moral value, and from where does it come? What is justice? Why do we need morality? Why do some certain actions permissible and some are not? What affirms moral action as moral actions? So this is all about ethics. Now let's see the second sub-branch of axiology, which is aesthetics. Aesthetics is the branch of philosophy that studies the nature of beauty and sense of beauty. It is all about artistic taste. It is too a normative science. It makes the distinction between what is beautiful and what is not beautiful, what is ugly. It makes a clear distinction between them. It is the set of principles that deals with the beauty and its appreciation. It is all about the conception and theories of beauty, sense of beauty, and art. Again, we need to look into some basic and important questions of aesthetics, which are as follows. What makes something beautiful? On what standards we can call something ugly? What is artistic sense and why does it necessary? Is beauty necessarily related to art? What is difference between art and craft? What is artifact? What is symbol? What is an aesthetic problem? These all questions are related to beauty, its appreciation, sense of beauty, and art and craft. Logic is the last sub-branch of axiology. It is very important subject of philosophy. It's a very wide subject. It's a branch of philosophy that deals with the arguments and validity of arguments. It is all about the laws of thought, usually known as the laws of reasoning, that help in making distinction between valid and invalid, good and bad arguments. An argument is an aftermath of reasoning through the working of inference. Now, what is inference? Inference is an activity of drawing conclusion from premises. And Reasoning is the process of drawing inference to assert the truth of conclusion with support of its premises. Logic, again, is a normative science that forms the values and standards of correct reasoning in form of valid arguments. It asserts the correct reasoning in form of arguments. Now, what is argument? Argument is a cluster of propositions in which some propositions are used as premises and one proposition is inferred as conclusion out of those premises. So far, argument is the byproduct of, or it's a product of reasoning. So logic is all about argument, and it is all about making distinction between valid and invalid argument, good and bad argument. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe the channel for more videos and press the like button, and also don't forget to hit the bell icon.